Sadie, your business model is one that is a franchise model, and that is also very intentional. Can you talk about the decision to go with that model?
Yeah, I knew I wanted to scale. I knew this was going to be big because I was so clear on the problem I was solving for myself, scratching my own itch, but I knew other women felt this way too. It didn't see themselves in fitness, wanted to feel connected in their bodies as they were versus being told, we have to change them to be accepted. I knew that with every cell in my body. So then I designed a growth model around protecting that. And for me, it was to grow with other women who saw themselves in that story and also were lonely, perhaps, and wanted to create their own business. And I grew up in a collective. My mom was, I was born in the early 70s. My mom dropped out with some of her best friends. They're part of the counterculture. They ended up being single moms, and they raised us kids together. So I grew up with 5 moms, basically, my mom and aunties, and we call ourselves the Sunshine Brothers and Sisters, but I grew up with this circle of women and this idea of collective wisdom. And so that was also in my DNA. And now here I am, I have this huge circle of women around me, 209 studios, every single one of them is owned and operated by a woman.
You can clap for that.
Yes, thank you. I will say for the few brave men here, including my husband, that we also would franchise with men as long as they're really around designing workouts for women's physiology and our psychology. And they're totally behind that too. So far it's been women, which is fantastic. And we've grown on cash flow for 17 years with no private equity or outside institutional money. Cash is queen. Definitely grown on cash and been really careful that way. And that's allowed us to really protect the vision and the mission and the values. So much so that if private equity does come in or we do a strategic at some point, they will be required to continue what we're doing in order to grow. So that was some of my thinking back in 2008, and it continues to drive us.